Hey guys, what it is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I am coming through on today, January the 17th, about 10 p.m. Girl, today I was off of work. Y'all seen me earlier. I did a video and I was talking about the domino effects that my husband being wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced in the state of Florida, what it has caused a domino effect in my life, basically, how it caused it. Okay, some dominoes that it knocked over were for good and some were for bad. But either way, these things would not have happened if it weren't for his wrongful conviction, right? So basically, today, go check that out. I'll link that in the description box below. I guess from now on, I should start trying to link his petition in every video because I got to get something moving. I think I need to start doing that. Every single video, I need to have that little here's how you guys can help section, just in case, you know, out of whoever may watch it, maybe one or two might want to help. But eventually that little bit of support over time. And thank you to all my subscribers that already have signed this petition. You have gotten me that much closer. So maybe I need to see, I'm sitting here waiting on the takeoff on YouTube. If you're a YouTuber, y'all could probably relate. YouTube is like watching a freaking pot boil. You watching every second. Like, is this the video that takes off my channel? That girl, I don't think no one video takes your channel off unless you're just one of those lucky persons. And that's almost like winning the lottery. But like, as for regular people that get on YouTube, I don't think it takes off like that. Well, I know it don't take off like that. I've literally been on YouTube since YouTube started. And I'm just now starting to see growth years later. And then I've gotten back on my channel and devoted to my channel just about daily uploading since 2020, which was almost now 3 years ago, because I believe I went back to my channel in maybe April-ish, but when June came in 2020, I was hard down devoted to it and uploading. So we're almost to 3 years in, and I'm just starting to see some type of growth. So it's going to be a long haul thing. So, and I'm going to grow little by little. So why not, attach that and just grow that little by little, because that's the more obvious way that it's going to happen. I'm looking for this overnight change, and most likely that's not what it is. I think I'm looking for overnight because I've been in the fight for so long. So I'm just looking for that saving grace. But I have to get the mindset that I used to have, that, hey, this is finna take forever. If I can get back into that mindset, like a mindset gets downloaded into your brain, basically. Joel Osteen had a sermon about that, about your software and a software update, right? So I guess around 2020, basically my software must have updated and it said, girl, you finna get everything you ever wanted. I don't know why that downloaded into my spirit. And then it didn't happen. But I jumped. I went full-fledged running, thinking it was going to happen. And now here we are 3 years later, and we still like, okay, so what happened? I thought it was going to happen. I got to get back that system software that said, hey, this is a uphill battle, and this is going to take you forever. Right? Anyways, today was lobby day. That's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to go to lobby me and the organization. It's a big organization for change, for criminal justice reform and for prison reform. I know not a lot of people care about prison reform, but if you are one who has spent time in Florida DOC, you understand how it can be. I do have that Beat the Heat challenge where we were showing how, hey, Florida don't even have AC at all in the prisons, and during the most of Florida days are hot, like hot, and the incarcerated citizens can barely get through the day, which I know most don't care because they're the throwaway parts of society. But the thing is that there are some wrongfully convicted people there. There's some overly sentenced people that should have gotten one time for one crime, and they got a whole heck of a lot more, or 3 times. And you know how gung-ho they were about in the 90s of giving out life, and people are still there because Florida done away with parole. So this organization actually is fighting to bring back parole. We're fighting for getting the 65% time served like most of the other states in the United States. Florida, with I think it's a couple of other states, still have 85%. The rest of the country is going with 65%, and at 65%, most of those states, you can then qualify for parole. Florida's not like that. They give out higher sentences, and then you're doing higher amount of percentage of the time on the sentences, and then there's no way to parole out. So that's why it freaking sucks. And we don't have family visits like California and some other, and I think New York as well, because I had met a prison wife back in the day. She was a prison wife here in Florida, but she used to fly up north to New York, and then she had to drive up further. I think they called it upstate or whatever. But then they had a trailer, and they were able to have family visits. Florida doesn't have anything to keep your family through this. So they advocate for that. They advocate for the presence of family in the incarcerated citizen's life. That's really going to give you the best rehabilitation, of family being there. Like Marcello says, that's the one thing that keeps him out of trouble, is because he know he has his family. He know he can visit his family. He know he can call his family. If he had nobody on the outside, he wouldn't have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of the incarcerated citizens feel. So that's why they're running into, and then we're going to also put in the lack of education. Education is there to, one, do something with their mind. They're not just an idle mind. And then when they get out of prison, they're just out a better criminal than they went in, because they had all this idle time to just sit and just learn how to do, you know what I'm saying? They converse with each other, and this is how you do that. Why do that when we could be teaching something that when the doors do open, the gates do open, they can become a viable part of society and not reoffend against society. So they advocate for a lot of those different things. So I was advocating with them in 2020. I kind of fell off in 2021 because I don't know, the battle is so uphill, and it feels like no matter how hard the battle you fight, in the end, the system always seems to win. They always, so it feels so pointless battle, which we know that's not the pointless battle, because change does eventually come. And if people weren't doing all these pointless battles, the change would never come. You know what I'm saying? So back in the 60s and the 70s, when there were all these revolutionaries and changes that they had made, had they not, and it seemed so freaking darn pointless back then, because change was not coming. But yet we're living off of a lot of those changes because of those people that fought. So possibly criminal justice reform and prison reform may not come in my lifetime. But I hope one day YouTube is still around and people are still able to go back and see my videos. And it's this girl from a long time ago whose husband had this ridiculous sentence, and her crazy ass thought that she was gonna get him home through doing some artwork. Girl, you never know. But anyways, so they lobbied in Tallahassee for criminal justice reform and prison reform. And I truly wanted to be a part of it. My heart is in justice, even though I can't get justice for my family. I mean, it just sucks that this is our freaking society. I hate this. And then it makes me bitter because I can't change the way it is. I don't know. Ugh. So anyways, I was trying to figure out my way of how to get out of work so that I can go. So I literally don't even be on Facebook. So I see their updates on Facebook. So every now and then when I have a cute little picture, because Facebook is made up of my family, Marcello's family, and associates. We won't say friends, because friends would actually assist in my battle. They would assist in my battle because friends don't let you just go through life hurting. Family don't either. But when they see that they can actually help you, real family and real friends do attempt to help you. So on Facebook, it'll just be me like, please help me. Help, please, with this situation. I can't. Please share my petition. Please, can you donate $1? I asked for a freaking $1 for the GoFundMe. And they look at you like crickets. Like, yeah, whatever. I won't even push like, because I know that'll help you out. So I usually don't go to Facebook, which I'm glad that God had broke that addiction to Facebook from me. So I barely go over there. I only post about my little granddaughter, and if I have cute little pictures with me and money. That's all I'm using that for, because that's all they care about anyway, right? So I went to post some little pictures, and I popped in and seen that the lobby day was upon us. So had I knew prior in advance, I could have found other ways for transportation. So when I did find out about it, like on Thursday, I'm like, oh, Kitty, you got to figure out how to get out of work. You got to be to Tallahassee. You got to be on them steps. You got to be there. Girl, so it was this little dude that I was working with, and he claimed he was going to take my day, girl. And how about he clocks out? I see the back of his head. I'm like, where he going? He said he was going to take my day, girl. He gone. He clocked out. He gone. I said, okay, Lord, if it is your desire for me to be at lobby day, then I know you'll make a way. You'll get me out of work, right? So the whole weekend goes by, girl. I could have, and then finally I came to grips with it. I said, you know what, Keita, your car is not at its best shape. Is fooling, acting a fool right now. So let's be real. Even if you get the day off, we don't know how you're gonna get up there, right? So I stopped trying to get the day off. How about yesterday, the manager texts me, is like, Keita, do you want the day off tomorrow? Yes, of course I want the freaking day off. But by the time I found out in the evening, it was literally like too late to even try to make plans. Like, am I going to try to drive my car up there and then possibly get there and possibly get back? Then I couldn't find nobody to go with me. So if we taking an iffy trip, we don't want to be out there by ourselves. You definitely don't want to be stranded on them backwoods in Florida. You going up them roads, you need a good working car, because it's a lot of them back roads you do not want to cut off in. So at first, the warrior in me was like, Keita, do it. And basically, I would have had to get there at 9 this morning, because that's when the lobbying started. I would have had to leave like 4 or 5 in the morning this morning to get there on time. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to let it pass. So it sucks. I feel kind of like, like, you know how you feel sad because an opportunity passed, and but I'm gonna still advocate through this channel for the time being, and eventually when I finish building that channel for my husband, it'll be over there, because like I said before, not everybody is here for this fight, but there are some, so I will separate it. So besides that, I said, okay, well, so we're not going up there to lobby, so let's go ahead and do what is the biggest thing you need to be working on in your life. And right now, the project at hand is I need to find an apartment. Anybody apartment hunt, this whole living situation right now is crazy. Like, times are really bad. It's getting to the point where people can't have a car and an apartment. Like, you just can't afford it. You can't just work one job. Like, you literally got to work 2 jobs to barely survive. Like, it's getting like real out here, and it's getting really, money is tight. Everything's high. It's not just like the what was it, in 2008 we actually had inflation. But this is different. This is beyond inflation. Like in 2008, it was a lot going on to where the gas went up, which caused so many things to fail, people losing their businesses and stuff like that. Some people were losing their houses, but the rents didn't skyrocket like this, and the price of cars didn't jump up like this. And if you look at the rates of pay over all these years, we're not making a livable wage, and I make exactly what I made years ago, almost, let's say 2013, when I left the super center. I was making what I made now in 2013. So that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, what I make now was considered good, living good. You can pay rent, you can have a car, you can pay your car insurance. Car insurance is so freaking ridiculous. I pay almost $5,000 for car insurance, and I have to pay it all at once because I have a 21-year-old that they already charge out the yin yang for. Like, it's too freaking much. Her monthly payments on her car is $500 something a month. Like, how are we gonna make it? How are we gonna make it? I don't know, and I know you don't know either. So I don't know. But so I said, let's just go out there. We know we got to move. A lot of people is in this moving season, because you basically are getting notices that rents are going from this to got dergit to this. How? And people are trying to rearrange and this and that. So for me, I'm trying to downsize. I'm trying to go from a 2-bedroom to a 1-bedroom, which is dang near impossible. God, it's been very difficult in Orlando to move. Ever since, I want to say it was 2018. I don't remember exactly, but it was a hurricane that hit the Bahamas. And I remember because that was the year that I had this teacher I call Mom Jeans. Oh, she was too much. But I had that teacher, and I do also remember that there was this guy. He was an exchange student from the Bahamas, and he was like literally like homeless at that point. And he barely, because he was like, this is why I'm not turning in my assignments and this and that, because literally don't even know how I'm gonna continue this, and I told that story about how I lucked up and went to the casino and hit the jackpot. And next day class resumed, I passed him a couple $100 wrapped up in a little note, and never seen or heard from him since. So hopefully he was able to, but that year I know is the year that it just became so much harder to find an apartment. And you have to, that's when they started this waiting list stuff. And you can be on a waiting list. And every freaking year, the waiting list gets longer and longer. The waiting lists are so ridiculous. It goes from, it used to be like 90 days, and now it's 6 months, and now it's a whole year, and now there are literally 18 to 24 month waiting lists. What are we gonna do? Like, this creates a very, like I told Marcello, I'm like, soon, to be honest, baby, it's finna get real for y'all even more, because the families are not going to be able to support you guys like that. Like, I'm not going to be able to answer when you're calling because these calls are out the yin yang. I'm not going to be able to travel to see you as often. Like, baby, we did 19 months without seeing each other. So we're going to have to go back to scarcely seeing each other because you're at the top of the damn map. Like, you way up there on freaking Alabama line. Like, I can't just jump up there. I don't have a great working car. I have to rent a car. I have to rent a hotel. I spent $100 in gas round trip last time to go see him. So we're talking about a good $300 plus every time I go see him. Like, some trying times. So I said, well, let's get out there. I got the day off. Let's go looking for apartments. So I went looking for apartments. I got a few. I don't even know if they're leads or not. But when I returned back home, I was just like, I feel defeated. But I said, Lord, if you had me go, I prayed before I left. And then I prayed when I came back and just prayed that something that I did today was meant for something. It does something. And that's all that I can do now in my life, is just hope that anything that I'm doing one day does pay off to something. Like, even with this channel, it's looking real pointless right about now, to be honest. But we don't know. So as humans, we only can see from one dimension. We can't see the full-fledged story and how things play out. But yeah, so that was today. I spent the day apartment hunting. Girl, crazy. Yeah, so I got some more months. I got a few more months. It's not a lot of time because they're talking about 2-year waiting list. Like, girl, how I knew I wanted to move 2 years ago. That's crazy. They own that. Y'all, I don't even know what we're gonna do. All I could do is tell you to pray. This is when you got to get closer to God, because at this point, I don't know. I don't even know how I'm finna make it, girl. We finna make it living on a prayer. Y'all remember Bon Jovi? Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand and I make it, I say. Girl, that was me and my sister's favorite song back in the day. But yeah, we gotta live on prayer now. Like, this is crazy. Then also tying it back to returning citizens. Girl, I don't even know how they finna make it. People coming back, if they are ever fortunate enough to come back to society. Like, what are the options they got? We need to make sure there's some options there so that they're not reoffending against whoever's in the community. I'm just saying, I live in a community. You live in a community. We should care. Like, for real. But all right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and upload this little video, because they be driving, they're paying attention to too much. Man, mind your business over there, girl. I'm up here grinding, like, for real. I'm trying to make something out of nothing. But anyways, when I get back home, it's about 10. I do have a little school function with Juju in the morning. And then I got to rush to work, because I work to live and I live to work. Hustle hard until it hurts, girl. And it does hurt. So I gotta go to sleep early enough, but I do want to finish that Shantia Deja project, Reach the World. I can also link those two drawing sessions in the description box. I spent two like 30-minute sessions drawing her, but I'm almost done with her picture. So I literally thought I was gonna work on it today because I didn't know it was gonna take me all day to look for apartments and not find nothing. I thought I was going to head by the library and draw and record me drawing or whatever, but that's not how the day played out. So that too gets me upset because I'd be like, dang, I waste my day. Like, why even go waste your day apartment hunting and you ain't found nothing? That's that thing I was telling you about, how I live by time. And that is not good for me because I'm always thinking about the time, losing time. Oh, I feel so behind in my life that every single moment feels so precious to me because I am so far behind in my life, I feel. But yeah, so I didn't get to go do that drawing session. So I'm going to stay up a couple more hours, finish up her picture. And then I gotta go to bed. Going to bed because I gotta get up for this little assembly for my nephew. All right, guys. It's your girl Cadillac.